Welcome, everyone. We are back today with Industry Connect. We took a beat in September because it's fall, and y'all know how crazy fall is for us photographers, especially those of us in the Midwest. I feel like I haven't been able to breathe, but it's fall break. So we're back. Lacey has been so kind as to jump in and be my co-host with me, and we are welcoming Yoli Ray today. A lot of you, if you've been to Push, you know Yoli. And we've just kind of decided we're going to talk about all things AI and outsourcing today.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have not tried anything with AI yet, this might be a good foyer into it. I'm going to drop a link here for AI editing that will, well, let me drop the link. I'll drop it here in the chat, I promise, that'll allow you to have 30 free images. I'm telling you, it's fall. I still am not 100%. You'll get 30 free images to edit with AI using Evoto. We're going to be sharing our screens. We're going to be talking about AI editing. We're going to be talking about outsource. We're going to be talking about AI for your copy, AI for everything. So just hang on, ask questions as we go. I'll be moderating, and we're excited to do this. Lacey, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. And I will say this, as someone who, and I'm sure maybe a few of the people that are watching right now or watching later, I am someone who is a control freak in my own business. You, Vickie, have told me you need to outsource more so many times. And it is difficult for me. I will outsource occasionally, and I outsource in some ways. I have an office manager, so that's my way of outsourcing because I hate scheduling and I hate all of that stuff. But as someone who has a hard time with taking my hands off of the final product, I was, you gifted me those 30 Evoto free images, and I got to play around, and there was a lot of different things that I tried out, especially with the skin retouching. So
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to let go, but once you let go, you're like, okay, what can I let go of next? And it's no secret, I have not been editing my own images for 7 years now. I outsource my bookkeeping. I outsource my ads. I outsource my web design. I outsource every single thing that I can outsource. My bookkeeping, I'm not scrambling in April because my bookkeeper comes once a month. She does everything with QuickBooks. And then come January, she turns it over to the CPA. I outsource my contracts. I mean, there's just so many things. I've got 2 kids that just consume me. I mean, let's just talk about that. That's just, I'm always on this dumpster fire, and everybody knows that who knows me personally. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have to outsource in order to survive.
And Yoli, do you outsource a lot? Do you find yourself or somewhere in the middle?
It's somewhere in the middle for me. It's so funny because as entrepreneurs, when we are the one person show, there's so many hats that we have to wear. And honestly, I didn't go into business to do something I don't enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just outsource anything that requires me to excel, whatever that part of it is, which obviously is the behind the camera work. So, if somebody's coming to hire me to take their pictures, they want me to take their photos. So that's not something I can outsource, right? But I don't necessarily have to do the editing, and I don't particularly enjoy that part. If I could figure out how to outsource the culling part, because it's like, trying to choose your favorites and be in the mind of your client and what they're going to like sometimes it gets hard for me to narrow down. But
I love that, though. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I want to see my work.
Favorite part. That's the truth, is like, some of us love the shooting part, some of us love the editing part, some of us love selling. I hate IPS. I do it, but I do it a modified version that I like, that they buy everything up front and I don't have to do as hard of a sell as I used to. So these are all things that, we change in our business, and we should outsource or modify as we go, because all of us are individuals. So we don't know what we'll love and what we'll hate about our business as we grow into it.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this great. So you want to outsource calling. I got somebody for you. I know someone who's doing a calling business. They reached out today. So
yeah. So I right now I'm outsourcing my editing. So I'm doing my own culling. I get it down to, a manageable number of what I like and want to show. And then I outsource the editing. The client picks what they want, and I outsource the retouching.
Mm-hmm.
So with client work, that's great. But one of the things I found exciting about, because I run model teams in my business, and I know you do as well, Vickie and Lacey both, it's not always the most financially sound thing to outsource images that you're not actually selling, that you're giving away. So that I was really excited to give this 𝐸_VOTO a try.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of industry leaders reach out to me, and they've been doing it. One's been doing it for over a year. One has just jumped on in the last couple of months. And I said, okay, I'm going to try. I had a boy mini session. Okay. So it's a mini right there. You're not making what you normally make on a senior session, unless you're selling more. And with my boys, I do, but it's only a handful of images. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm not sure. They kept saying, have you tried? And get the text. No, I'm going to tonight. So I come home, I cull through the images. I do it. Download a photo. I did the free image thing, which I put the link in there for everyone. You can get 3 free images to try on your own. And you can do as many as you want. It's 30 that you can export. I should make that very clear. So I dumped in my raw files. I did it. I was done in 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I told my clients 7 to 10 business days. I tell all my clients 7 to 10 business days for your session. So I'm over here just tapping my fingers. And I think, Yoli, you're the one I sent my before and after. Yeah. But you're like, oh, it looks like what you put out.
Right.
The before and after, like, it looks like your images. Yeah, it does, because it was. I was kind of shocked, but it was a boy. So I'm assuming, Lacey, that you did some before and afters.
I did. I can screen share. So I wanted to show off 3 before and afters. One is a boy. That I have a girl who has some acne issues that were going on. And then I also have a headshot client, because I wanted to show off what a 𝐸_VOTO can do with skin that is not, 17-year-old skin. Just in case, I know some of us also do.
Because my skin is definitely not 17-year-old skin.
So I'm going to screen share here. Okay.
And Yoli, we're going to have you screen share as well, okay? Because we want to see yours.
Okay. So are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm going to do entire screen then.
Oh, and by the way, when my client came, they did not know a difference, and they absolutely loved it. And we're thrilled.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I mean, that you can say you can do it all day long, but if they're not happy with the final product,
right?
Everything was the same. Everything flowed normally. And by the way, someone just posted, I can't see your name because it's on our chat line, but it says, yes, you can do IPS your way and still make bank. You absolutely can. You can do things your way and still make the money you want.
Okay. Yeah, that is absolutely right. I'm trying to make this work. Hold on. Apparently my screen recording. Oh, I see. I just allowed Google Chrome to do that. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm getting there.
Hey, we took a month off, and this is what we get. And we just lost Lacey. Lacey will be right back. So, Yoli, do you want to share your screen? And don't leave me here by myself.
Okay.
Now, you, okay?
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can.
Oh, here's Lacey. She's back. Let me add her to the stage.
I'm back. Okay.
We are hot guys. Bear with us, please.
Like, okay, guys, have everything. Bye-bye. Nope, out of here.
You can share your screen, Yoli, but you better not leave me alone. Okay, here we go. I've got you up, Lacey.
Okay, I apologize, guys. I just want to let you know, because StreamYard only allows us to do things through Chrome, I had not allowed permissions because I usually do not use Chrome. So I was like, oh my gosh. And when I clicked it, I didn't know it would automatically restart Chrome. So you might want to do that now just in case.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm the guinea pig, and that's totally fine. Okay. So this is one of my clients, Ivan. He is such a cutie pie.
Adorable.
And he was singing songs during this. He was just like going back and forth. I love him. His like favorite person of all time is Bad Bunny. So we wanted to have some like Bad Bunny vibes for his photo shoot. So this is actually already retouched. I will show you the original. I just did this one to show that 𝐤𝐤𝐤 can do some great, not just skin work, but they can also work kind of like Adobe Camera Raw, where if you go through here, you can change exposure, highlight, and obviously I had overshot this where the highlights are a little peaked. It's not, where I needed it to be. So I was able to easily bring down the highlights a little bit, bring up the shadows as I need. And that's typically all I need to do when it comes to a studio shot. So I wanted to show studio shots because I know those are things that people typically you can see more of the skin with studio. So that one was there, but he already has pretty good skin. But we're going to zoom in on him and take a little bit of his acne there. I don't know if you can see, he had a little bit.
Right.
If you do all the way, I think that's a little too much for young skin. But just like between the 15 and 20 range, and look, boom, he's already done. And what I like about this is you can save that preset and sync it if you wanted to every single photo in that set. So I did that with a few clients, and I'll show you this next one. So a lot of you don't always have just seniors, or maybe you have a senior with more textured skin. So I wanted to show this one off. So this is the original, and you can see she has a lot of freckles up here. She has some fine lines and wrinkles. She's absolutely stunning. But we wanted to, the other thing is like a neck wrinkle. They actually have something that's specific to neck wrinkles, which I was like, oh my gosh, what?
I know.
So that was really cool. The one thing I would love for them to have is knees, because they had like body blemish, but I would love to have just specifically knees. I don't know about y'all, but I have knee problems with my clients a lot because I have a lot of soccer players and baseball players, and their knees are messed up, y'all. Dancers, everything. So I just brought up the freckle and acne to like a 12. She doesn't have very much, and I wanted to preserve a little bit of her freckles because I like to keep everything that's permanent and take away, things that are acne and stuff like that. As far as the eye wrinkle, you can see here, I just brought it up a little bit. So she still looks, who she is. We're just softening those. And then the dark circles, of course, we all need a little bit of, I especially right now. I just got back from a destination shoot with my team, and I need my dark circles permanently taken away. And we have the neck wrinkle that disappears too, which that is
a changer. I love that.
Mm-hmm. This other one, she doesn't really need it, but I did it just because they have a double chin, which really just gives shadow under the neck, which she doesn't need it. That is nice. It gave her a more defined jawline without actually altering her face, which I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And then, of course, we all love a little eye brightener. So I did my eye brightener to about here. I do feel like if you go to 100, it looks wild. but maybe if you're in a different setting. So yeah, the 29 to 30 range. So that was nice and easy. And I actually created a preset that I made called headshots, and it was based off of one I did here. And last but certainly not least is Maddie. So Maddie was a senior on my team last year, and last year she had such a hard time. She'd been on my teen team since freshman year, and her senior year she broke out about 1 billion times, and she just was so upset. And I did outsource a lot of the editing to get rid of all of her individual. And this is the finished image, and this was like one of her better days. And of course, this is with professional hair and makeup, so we covered it, but she had really red cystic acne all on her chin and sometimes on her forehead. So you can tell the huge difference, and all I did was move that slider. And, with her, we did need to have it up to like a 60 to 70 range, just because she's dealing with a little more. But I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. That made my job so much easier. And if you are looking to, this is for her individual session, but Yoli had a point, like, if you're looking to just do a few sweeps for team sessions, or maybe you have a BFF or mini sessions that you do where you're not making as much money, this is the perfect way to do that, because you don't have to outsource all of the individual editing. And so I really enjoyed it. I also, maybe we'll get back into that later, for Adobe AI. I've been using that as well for other means.
Definitely going to talk about that, because you've got some great before and afters there. We did have a question. Hi, I'm just jumping in. Are you taking raw images straight into a Voto, or do you edit first in Lightroom? I take them straight into a Voto. I feel it has a very Lightroom-esque feel. So if you're Lightroom intuitive, then you're just going to just hop in like it's nothing into a Voto, I believe. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. It's very, very similar to working in Lightroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which is where I spend most of my time. I don't do a lot in Photoshop.
Yes. I don't do any Lightroom. So if someone who is listening out there doesn't do Lightroom, I do Adobe Camera Raw or Capture One. This is very similar to both of those. And then if you need to do additional editing, you can move it into Photoshop. But this is definitely the first step that I would do, because you're already, fixing skin and getting all of the basics done.
Yeah, it was stunning before, but wow. I mean, how long do you think it took you to do the image from start to finish?
Start to finish, less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
then you just transferred it to the rest.
Yes.
So you
can sync that up. And I did try, there were a couple of things, and I'll be honest, like the sky overlay, I still think it's in beta, maybe in different settings. But I did try a few sky overlays. I think it depends on what you're shooting. And I think a lot of sky overlays certainly cater more towards landscape photographers versus portrait photographers. But it has possibilities, and I don't know if you guys played around with any of that. Obviously, I'm in studio for this, but they had a lot of really cool sky replacement pictures in there that I really liked. And they also have, I tried to play around with it, but they have the 𝐷𝐤𝐞 clothing, which I tried to look for wrinkly clothing within my clients. I am such a,
I can't imagine having it.
I'm like, you are not bringing wrinkly clothing to my shoot. So
yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with that one either.
I couldn't find a good example, but they do have that, which is, that's amazing. I'm sure I will use this in the future, because every once in a while I'll have, someone come in with something, or they've sat for a while and their pants are wrinkled or whatever. So that's really cool. And they also have some pre-made filters. I played around a little bit, but right here is very much like Lightroom / Adobe Camera Raw, where you can mess with curves and hue,
Yep.
saturation, lightness, and color grading and everything.
And if you're like me, I mean, I shoot at the same time based on the season. I know where the light's coming. So, I mean, it was helpful.
Yes.
I was shocked because I thought, oh, I'm going to be sitting here learning something for 40 minutes and I'm not going to use it. And then I was like, oh my God. Yoli, we're going to come back to you, Lacey, with the Adobe Beta. Obviously, we're talking all things AI today. Yoli, let's hear what your take is. And do you need to share your screen? Are we going to lose you when you share?
Let's see. What happens when I hit share?
I love that you focused on studio images because that's you. And I think it's great to see. I'm assuming that Yoli's going to have natural light. Am I correct?
Actually, I was on location, if this is even going to let me. I had a couple of.
What is the cost per image edit using a photo? You can buy packages, and I think like 1,000 image packages, like $80. Don't quote me. So that comes out to what, like 5 or 6 cents an image?
Yeah.
But you do have 30 free with the link above that you can practice and play around with. And if you want to export 30, you can play around with as many as you want. But like, she left. But like,
I think she has to upgrade it. It does that automatically because it's like, do you want to do that? And you have to. But I will say I can also share if needed because I did use a few natural light as well.
Want to share real quick while we're waiting on Yoli to come back?
Sure, absolutely. Let me.
The cost is effective, and I have a private editor. I'm not leaving my private editor. I am using it for minis and for fun sessions and things like that. Maybe styled shoots that I do with crew, little things like that to throw out the galleries.
Yeah.
That's where that's incorporated into my workflow.
There we go. Okay.
Yoli's back, but we'll get yours up there. Let's add yours.
Yeah. So I have this client who she's actually a diabetic. So she has marks on her arms and legs from her pack. And this was from a group shoot. So you can do specifically, hold on, where is it? Body skin smoothing, and you can also do body blemish. So if you see here, that's already starting to remove, compared to what it was, already starting to remove a lot of that, which, I mean, that in and of itself, I was able to do really quickly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, okay, Yoli, you ready?
Yeah, let's try it again.
Okay. I knew we were going to lose you.
I thought I had turned it on. And
guys, if you have questions, ask questions. I'll be moderating as we're going through this. So yeah. I know that the whole thought of it is maybe scary for those who have not tried it. Just dive in and just see, what do you got to lose? I mean, you may not want to do it right now because it's crazy fall season, or maybe you do. Maybe you're that person drowning in image galleries because you couldn't say no. And this is going to help get you, caught up.
Are you able to see my screen?
I can't. Oh, yeah. Here, hold on. I got to add it. Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay. So I just pulled in an image that I was working on from a lifestyle branding shoot that I did with a client recently. And this is just kind of what I've been playing with. So, and I won't go through all of the things that Lacey went through, but I've really been enjoying it and playing around with the presets that are already preloaded.
Okay.
And I just wanted to share here. I haven't done anything with this image.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. But what I did realize, if you're going to start with any of the presets here, is that less is more. So, and I love that you can see the processing. So two of my favorite things that I've shown that have populated so far, and it's processing this one right now.
Yeah, I also liked the natural 2 and the natural 1 and the high end 1. Everything
Yeah.
seems more less is more, which is good.
And this you're working from your raw file, correct, Yoli?
Yes, working from the raw file. And you can see while it's processing here, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of really light here that it's processing, and you can see where it's taking everything in the slider tool. So it's actually working on the body blemishes, and that's around 15. I didn't notice this until you mentioned it earlier, Lacey, about the face mole, which she doesn't have one, but there's a preset for it. But you can see where it's changed, and then you can make adjustments from the preset without like just going in and doing all of your own retouching first. And then you want to see the before and after. You can see where maybe I can zoom in a little bit more.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Here. And she had just come off of a really bad rosacea episode. So she was very hypersensitive about what her skin was looking like with makeup. So I love, let me just show you here, because you mentioned this, the high end one.
The high end I found worked better in studio than natural for me. I feel like the high end one was not working in natural light or backlit, at least for me. But the natural was.
Yeah. So this was one of the images that I really wanted to show, because we could zoom in a little bit on her skin and see how the system is making the adjustments here in the panel. And then the other thing that let's go over here, number 7, that we brought up, because I do, in addition to high school seniors and teens, I also do headshots, and I do a lot of realtor headshots. She's not a realtor, but since I have her up, if you go, there's another feature that's that's in the sky replacement area where you can switch the backgrounds. And I love that. I had preloaded some of my own backdrops that I use with the realtors, and I'm just gonna pop in a random one here and see what happens. And there's the new background. Let's go down to bit window. So it definitely is a time saver for, that's probably not a background I would choose for this one, but definitely is a time saver for your processing. If you're doing your mini sessions, if you're doing teamwork, or if you just want to play around with things, see what you can accomplish, and allow yourself to just really get creative.
Now the image is the background's bleeding over when you added it to the arm. Is there a way to back that off? Do you see?
So you're
right?
You're right in here.
Yes, that.
I think that's one of the limitations here in Evoto, is being able to like erase stuff. Yeah, I think that's one of the limitations. There's no erase. You're limited to what they have. So probably most likely what I would do if I was going to keep that background is I would just crop it.
Yeah, the other option is I believe you can select the client.
You can mask her off.
Oh yeah, mask off.
But there is a way to do it. But I will say it's not as the one thing is it's not as intuitive as some of the other editing softwares on how to do that. It did take me a while to find it, and now I can't remember where it was. But I also, like, I played around with the sky overlays and stuff, and I was like, where? Because that's one of the, but this is still in beta.
Yeah.
And that's why I mostly was impressed with the skin retouching versus the overlays so far. But that doesn't mean that it's I will say this, it was much faster to get through the overlays and like look at which sky overlay would work on this versus Photoshop.
Absolutely. Okay.
You can load in up to about, I think, 100 backdrops.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay, Yoli, are you using any other things to outsource currently?
Any other things to outsource aside from the editing? No. Editing and retouching are outsourced. I was outsourcing bookkeeping. I brought that back in-house for the time being, just because of the studio management software I use has a lot of the back end, creating the expenses or loading your expenses and stuff like that. So I brought that back in-house. But, you know, I am also using other AI tools. I've been using for a while now, and I'm really getting into the process of using it as kind of a brainstorming tool, you know, running ideas through and just even expanding on ideas that I have. It's almost like, you know, having a team.
Well, it's nice when you put in, I mean, I use an AI copy editor, and when you're putting an ad together or something, it's helpful. It is so helpful. Yeah. Especially, I mean, the one I use is geared towards creatives. What are you using yours for?
Well, I started out using ChatGPT at the beginning of the year, and most recently I have, and when I first started it, and I think this is probably, you know, pretty normal with most people when they first start using a tool like this, is they just kind of go in and start asking random questions and just creating new conversations every time just to see what pops up. But about a month ago, I found Claude. And so, yeah, I found Claude, and I started getting really strategic with my questions and creating conversations around them. And so now, you know, just last night, funny, just last night I popped in ideas for pre-conference content for Push.
Yes, because you're going to be doing coaching and cocktails, or cocktails and coaching, which we're excited to have you at Push doing that this year.
Yes, I'm so excited to do it. So last night I put into the chat. I'm attending a photography conference for high school senior photographers, and the event is 3 days. And I would like to share with my followers just kind of the activities going on at the event, and I would like you to help me create a social media plan. Now, my prompts are usually about 4 or 5 sentences. I want a detailed plan. I want you to include image suggestions and see what it populates. And then I create a conversation from there.
Yeah. It's great. I use Toddy. I do the same thing. I talk about, you know, like, hey, we're doing this release. It's a senior magazine, or it's a senior event. How do we promote it? And then you go through, and then you kind of narrow in from there.
Yeah.
What about you, Lacey?
Yeah, I use ChatGPT, and I have found the more specific that you get, the better results. So you can say, I need a 3 to 5 sentence post for Facebook, and it will, if you say Instagram versus Facebook, it changes. because they know the audience, and they also know the keywords. So if you say Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, about, and then this specific thing. So recently, you know, because I'm teaching at conferences, I need a 3 to 5 sentence post about, you know, senior portraits, or I need a 3 to 5 sentence post, and then you can get very specific about posing within the senior portrait, you know, sphere or whatever, and you will get some prompts. That doesn't mean that you will not tweak them a little here and there,
Right.
because there's something. Yes, one thing I will say, especially with Facebook, when you're asking for the Facebook ones, so I tend to ask for Instagram more, is that they tend to be a little on the cheesy side because of the years and years of Facebook, and it's like capturing memories, a lot of that kind of stuff, which is not always a bad thing, but for my branding, you know, I do capture memories, but it's not like the core of my branding. I also, and I've made notes that I just copy paste for ChatGPT of like, my branding within the senior realm is edgy, editorial, blah, blah, blah. And I need the following. So that really helps.
I always add the part of my brand voice.
Yes.
So I tell it, this is my brand voice, and I want you to write the post in this brand voice and who it's targeted to. I love that they also include emojis.
I love the hashtags.
Yes, the hashtags are crazy sometimes.
Okay, so we have a question. Where do I find the link? It's up above in the conversation. It'll say want 30 free images with the photo. Click the link below. It'll be from me, Vickie Black. Someone else put in, I also use ChatGPT. I asked for 5 choices too. And yes, I agree, Lacey. It's sometimes cheesy, and then I'm sure you adjust. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I really do utilize this as a jumping off point. For blogging, it has changed the game. You know, blogging is something I enjoy doing, but it's a lot, it's time consuming. So if you can say, I need, top 5, and this is something that I learned from Fuse as well, but we were doing this a little before. Yeah, we were doing this, my office manager and I, a little before this, but to get even more specific was, you know, top 5 things in the Sacramento area, because that's my local area. You can do blogs about, you know, coffee shops and stuff, because I take a lot of photos at coffee shops. If you've ever done anything like that, and that will come up in local SEO, not just for photographers, and it gets your name and your brand out there. Even for people who may not be looking for photos, they might click on it.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
Lacey, I know before I jump in and I share some before and after from of another service that I use, you have been doing the Adobe AI beta.
Yes.
About that for a minute. And
absolutely. So I am going to share my screen again.
Okay. She's got some great before and afters because we've been chatting about this. Let's see here. ChatGPT is amazing if you're not a writer. English is my second language. I absolutely love it for blogging and social media. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I really, really, it has changed the game for me, and it saves so much time.
It is a huge time saver.
Yes.
My son is a 9th and 10th grade English teacher, and last year was his first semester doing it. He got thrown in because the teacher quit, and that's how he ended up in the gig, actually. But he had spent the semester, first year teacher, no teaching degree, finance degree. And so he used ChatGPT to create the final exam, and it was flawless. The answers were correct. He went back and verified, and the other teachers were like, wait a minute, you just did that with ChatGPT?
It's amazing. You can do so much with it. I know AI is scary sometimes, but I think if we want to stay ahead of the game, we need to utilize it versus be afraid of it.
Exactly.
I agree.
You got to entrench or adapt. What are you going to do?
So this is actually just a test shot that I did, but I thought she looked so cute. So I kept it in there, even though there's this weird line and everything. But I was like, oh my gosh, there's the parking lot right here. That's ugly, right? So there's something that you can use within Adobe Photoshop, and you just grab your lasso tool, and you're going to take all of this here to get rid of it. And you can write in what you'd like, but let's just see what it creates, because oftentimes you don't need to put in a prompt because it will take into account the settings around your subject and fill it in. Boom. Okay, so, and it's giving me 3 options. Okay, so this one looks like we're at a park with maybe a little bit of either shadow, or maybe that's a pond. You know, we have our second option where she's on a hill, and this almost looks like a golf course.
Yeah, it immediately felt like it was a golf course.
Yeah, and then this was the one I did earlier, and I loved this one because it has, you know, a little bit of light shining through, and sometimes it can be crazy. Like, I don't want more sidewalk, but it gives you options of, you know, different things that you can have within your park setting. So this is when I prompted park versus nothing. So I actually ended up liking the thing that it generated in itself, right? And it's seamless. I mean, it honestly looks fantastic. And I will show you one that I did here. So this is just a small thing. My client, we took this really cute photo of her, but this was the original, and I felt I just want a little more volume, so we just added volume. It takes seconds. I will say it is a learning curve. Sometimes if you don't prompt it, this is what you get, and you're like, what the heck? What is that?
I don't know what it is, but okay.
Yeah, but if you prompt it correctly and just put expand or expand dress, expand skirt, whatever, you will be able to get the prompts that you're looking for. Let's see here. Okay, so I have not done this one yet. I just took this a couple of days ago in Palm Springs.
Is this at the Saguaro? Because we were Brooke and 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 and I were just there in June of 2022. I'm like, wait a minute. That is
so cute. Yes, it is so cute. We were taking photos and this truck parked right there, and I was like, oh no. So I'm just going to go ahead and not prompt it and see what it does. It does take a few seconds. It's kind of reading the room, and these are leading lines, so this can be a troublesome area, but see, it's already looking better. Let's see if it, yeah, that already looks better to me. And then we can prompt it one more time, but see how it filled in the tree. It filled in the purple. So now we can also just do it a little more specific, but I would be okay with that. You can also
take out that sign.
Take out that sign.
Yes, and you can do that at the same time. I forgot to do that. Hold on. Sometimes it so I'm just going to put that there, and all I do is press shift, just like we would for a lot of other things. You can also minus out some areas that you don't want taken out, and I'm just going to put remove sign, and we'll see what that does. Okay. It's weird because you guys can't see the generating pop-up. It's not on there, but it says generating. There we go. Boom.
Perfect.
I don't have to do anything. It does give you 3 options each time. So this is option 1, option 2, option 3. I kind of like 3 the most. I feel like it's the most organic.
Most natural.
Yeah, and it's very seamless. I mean, this is the background, so it's already blurred. But boom, I'm done.
I love that image.
You know, ideally, I wouldn't have the truck in there, but sometimes you're in a situation where, you know, you have a car drive by or whatever. And And then I'm going to show you guys my favorite one that I've done so far. I've done a few that I'm like, whoa.
Is this tank top? Are you going to show the tank top?
Yes.
Okay. I love that one. That was like the one that was like, wow, boom.
Yes. So my headshot client from last month that I showed earlier, and this is a before and after that I sent to Vickie. So I didn't notice, but her top kind of slid down a little bit, and we were like, oops, uh-oh, but she really loved this photo, and she was really bummed. She's like, oh my gosh, I really love this photo, but obviously I can't, she's a therapist, and all I did was put in tank top. So I'm going to try it right now again. We're going to put in this tank top here. Let's see. Tank top. Let's see. I don't know. Sometimes it's wild.
Just taking that into the prompt area.
Yes.
Right.
The prompt area is not showing up, and I apologize. I don't know how to.
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think I can see. Is it on the top, at the top of the screen in the?
No, it's right here. I'm actually touching it right now, but
okay, yeah, we don't see that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
awesome.
a pop-up. So these are the options. Look, she can have a V-neck if she wants. So that's incredible. And I have had a few like skirt expanding, like if we have a girl with a short skirt and I just noticed that it was a little too high for my taste, I fixed that. It looks great. I had a client that had a macrame dress that was a little too scantily clad for my styling. So I just added a little bit underneath her waist, and I made it a dress instead of a two-piece. So there are things that, I mean, that's pretty amazing, right?
That is awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then, you just go in and you retouch the skin here, and you're good.
Now, is this part of the Photoshop subscription? Like if you have a Creative Cloud with Adobe, or is this an additional?
Well, this was the beta, but I do believe that it will be just part of the Creative Cloud. If you upgrade, you will. There's one other thing that I can show you guys, and I believe it's part of the current, but I could be wrong. If you're needing to expand, it will automatically expand a backdrop for you. Hold on, it just takes a second. It's reading, and sometimes it's crazy, but I think for the most part, it does a pretty darn good job of reading everything and expanding backdrops. So if you have in studio, it will expand that very easily. Now look at that.
Oh, wow.
That all was not there seconds ago. So, I mean, that's pretty darn good. There's a little flaw right here that I see, so I can look at some of the others. There we go. That's much better. So, I mean, you can't really beat that. We didn't need to expand it, but we just wanted to check it out and see.
Yeah.
So
they're all going to be, they're in beta. Everything's in beta right now, but this is to give you a leg up with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
We all have those instances where maybe the skirt, they're twirling and it got a little high, or there's stuff in the background, or the skin. And I am not, I want to be very clear with everyone. I'm not, using one thing exclusively, like just AI. I'm also using an editor. I'm going to show you an example of, I use Ribuku a lot. If you know Ty Fisher, shout out to Ty. I had an image. Normally the street's empty, but they were having a street fair the night of this girl from out of town senior session. And so let me just share my screen here. Entire screen. And nobody judge me from the hot mess that my good old desktop is at the moment. Okay. It's
oh, mine is a hot mess too. I was trying to cover mine as much as I could.
Oh yeah, I totally hid mine.
let's see here. Let me bring it up. Can you guys see what the heck is going on? Where's my image?
It's behind. Yeah, there we go. I see it.
Okay, can you see this image with a pylon, all the people and all the
That's wild.
everything going on right now, right? I sent this off to 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞 because I mean I knew my client was going to love it, but she doesn't need all this. So then,
that's incredible.
This is
wow.
In under a day, and it was like $250.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
She freaking loved it. So there's the after, and here's the before.
They did a great job.
Fantastic.
I mean, they're probably over there scratching their heads going, what is she sending us now? But, you know, sometimes there's just things that you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't control that night, that street was littered.
Yeah.
So.
And I highly recommend, like, I outsource when I have like a super, like, just like you, if I have something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this, or I have a client that has additional textured skin, or maybe they had an extra frizzy hair day, whatever it is, that's something that is great to outsource. You know, if you are looking to not outsource every image, but only just some, that's what I do. And you can just ask them for very specific prompts with 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. You can ask them like, I just want this, this, and this. So yeah.
And you can save presets with them as well. I know for headshots, I have a headshot preset saved when I send out. I mean, there's just so many options out there, and we would be not doing a service to the community if we were not sharing what we're all using at the moment and what we're dabbling in, because I'm sure there's people that are watching this on the replay or that are on the live today. We've had a really good attendance on the live who probably never even tried any of this. So if you want to go play, 30 free images that you can export. You can put in hundreds. They don't care how many you put in. You're going to have the little watermark.
Yes.
But if you go to export them, you can have 30 free. And, you know, we want to hear your thoughts. So tell us, what are you doing? What are you finding? What would you like to see? Because I know like Avoto is in the group, and I know that they are going to be watching this, and they're going to want to know what they can be doing to help their users. They're constantly asking. For me, if someone gets the flyaways perfected, boom.
Yeah.
That's top of my wish.
For me, knees.
Yeah.
Really, what's yours?
It would be wrinkled clothes.
Well, they already got that.
They've already got that. I know it's new. It's a new feature. I haven't had an opportunity to play with, but I'm really excited about that.
Yep. Jamie, for some reason, Jamie's name showed up on my screen. Jamie just said, I started with Avoto a few weeks ago. I love it. I can't wait for flyaways. I know that's something that has been discussed. Yeah. Ladies, do you realize that in exactly 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be seeing both of you at Push?
I know.
I'm so excited.
I'm so stoked. I have some really fun things that I'm bringing. And I'm getting there a little bit early because I'm going to be thrifting on the 2nd, on the morning of the 2nd, so I can bring some stuff because we're going to be styling and posing some people.
Yep. Don't forget your Taylor Swift inspired bracelets.
Oh, yes, trust and believe.
With the Push and the CEO and all the senior style guide lingo. I know my daughter's been beating like a crazy kid. She wrote me in the other night to make 6 with her. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that, trading those off, and there might be some prizes associated with them. So, yeah. I guess I'll be seeing you guys in 2 weeks. Lacey and I we're going to be back next week.
I know, right away. We have a turnaround. We want to make up for September. You know, in September, we had a lot going on, a lot of travel, a lot of things. My whole fall has just been, I have not traveled the entire month of September, October, and November. I'm going to just be gone most of the time.
The 24th, we will be back with Maria Ortiz.
Yes. 24th, Maria Ortiz will be here. I met her last year. She's wonderful. And I'm very excited to have her on Industry Connect.
She's amazing. So, Yoli, thank you for coming on. And we'll learn from you during, it's cocktails and coaching, right?
Cocktails and coaching.
You gotta have the first.
I love it. That's amazing. I'm so excited to give you both hugs. I'm really excited to see you in person again.
Well, I will arrive on the 1st just because I got to make sure everything's ready for push. But we will meet at the pavilion on the 2nd for the unlimited cocktail reception to hang out and get to know everyone. So I'll see everyone soon, and I'll see you back next week, Lacey, with Maria.
All right.
Yoli, thank you, ladies. This has been awesome. Let's see you soon.